Hey,
what's going on, everyone?
How is everyone doing today? Welcome to episode 6 of Mixed Bag right here on the Super Review Show, where all we do is talk about what we want to talk about.
All we do here is talk shit.
We just talk shit. Let's put it that way.
Talking shit is fun.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, welcome to the Super Review Show, guys. My name is J-Man, off to work. This is Bill Murphy. He is here once again. Today we're going to be
talking me a hostage.
Today, you crack me up every single. We got to come with an introduction for you. You know, we really do. So look, everyone, I just want to point out to you, happy Thanksgiving to all of you who are in the middle of this pandemic. I want to wish happy Thanksgiving to all of the viewers of the channel, and all is well for you. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because we know COVID's still out there and it's picking up.
Yeah, it is.
But anyways, me and Bill and I, grammatically corrected, wanted to show, we wanted to give our top 10 in no particular order, because we can't figure out what's number 1 and what's number 10. Our top 10 favorite albums of all time, ladies and gentlemen, our top 10 favorite albums of all time. Bill, why don't you share a little bit of information about what we're going to be doing today for the next hour or so?
For the next hour or so, we're going to be talking about albums, albums that we like. And this is in no particular order, because I'm going to be honest with you. I had a hard time figuring out 10, and he just said in no particular order. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let's just do that. Because I'm not really a big album-oriented guy. More, if I like a song, I like it. But, So we are giving you our top 10 albums that we like, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody is entitled to their opinion. Tell us your favorite albums in the comments below.
Yeah, once this video is done being uploaded,
our good friend Matt. Hi, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, buddy.
Happy Thanksgiving, Matt. Glad to see you. Love to see it.
Our number one fan.
Yes, our number one fan. All right, Bill, do you want to do like we did last week, or do you want to go like me top 10, you top 10? We'll go from there.
What we did last week.
All right, you go ahead. So you start off with your 10th favorite album of all time.
Okay, my number 10. Again, I had to put this together in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So somebody
slightly pressed for time.
Okay. My number 10, I'm doing this because I remember when we would go on car trips to like Cape Cod and stuff, this album would always be playing, and that is Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf.
Oh, fuck you! I swear to God. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to curse on camera, but I completely forgot to add that to my list. That's an honorable mention right now.
Hey, you don't have to feel bad about cursing. Have you listened to my podcast? I swear like all the time. So
plug for Bill's podcast.
Sports Insanity Podcast. Check us out wherever you get your podcast.
Oh my God.
Plug! But I just
talk about
Bat Out of Hell.
Oh my God. Yeah, go ahead.
Probably has the best opening track of any album, which is, of course, Bat Out of Hell.
Of course. I mean, how could you not say that?
Doom, doom, doom.
There it is.
And I think my two favorite songs is I like that. I like Bat Out of Hell, and I also really like Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Oh, yeah. Great song.
Because, and there's a line when if you've ever heard the song and you hear the voice. Fun fact: when you hear the voice, going, "Ground in second base, he's ground in third."
Oh yeah.
That actually shortstop turned broadcaster Phil Rizzuto.
That's right, for the Yankees, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. He played for the Yankees, and he thought it was about baseball, but it was actually about. Oops,
yeah.
Can I say it? Can I say it on camera?
I don't care. Go ahead.
It was about sex. Poor Phil Rizzuto. Poor Phil Rizzuto. But yeah, just remember that album would always be playing when we would go on when we'd be driving on our family vacations. That album would always be playing.
It really is it's such a fantastic album, and it's the best my opinion, it's one of the best. I'm just gonna chime in for a second. It's one of the best albums of all time, like start to finish. It's just nothing's like it. It's crazy.
Paradise
By the dashboard. Yeah. So, wow, I can't believe you said that. I am shocked, my friend. I thought that damn you, Bill, damn you, shame.
Shame. Wait, what am I being shamed?
All right, here we go. So, damn you. I really wish I chose this one as one of my top, because I love this album to death. But if I can, okay, I'm gonna in no particular minute. Remember, everyone, we're doing this in no particular order. My quote unquote 10th favorite album of all time is an album by, if I can get it. So here we go. This is my 10th, in quote unquote, that I love this album start to finish. Band on the Run. I love this album so much by Paul McCartney. Now, it's kind of underappreciated in my opinion, because everyone's like, oh, Paul McCartney and the Beatles. People forget Paul McCartney had Wings, which had many number one hits across the 70s and into like 79, 80. So for a decade, he was with the Beatles for 7 years. He was with Wings for 10, and he went from there. It was nuts. So overall, I think this album is fan-freaking-tastic from start to finish in its entirety. And I just think that it's just so great on so many levels. So, yeah. And honestly, it was released with critical acclaim. Paul McCartney's best solo album, in my opinion. Like, if you want to count solo albums, I'd go like Egypt Station or his most recent stuff too. But yeah, this is definitely a classic. So anyways, my number 10 would be Band on the Run. So Bill,
yeah,
can you take it away?
But before I get to my number 9, I want to say I got to admit, Paul McCartney's Wings is a little underappreciated.
They completely are. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think that they're an absolutely outstanding band. I mean, jump in the chat board if you have any suggestions. I think they're great.
Okay, my number 9. Okay, This is a little generic. It's a generic classic rock album, but I don't care. Back in Black, AC/DC.
Oh, damn you. You know, it's funny
that you keep forgetting about these things, huh?
No, I didn't forget about it. I didn't forget about it. I really think that if I'm looking at my list correctly, hold on. Damn you, Bill. I think this might be, oh my God. You know, it's funny. I think our number 9s are pretty much the same.
Well, we might as well talk about it together then.
Let's talk about it together. What do we got going on? Togetherness. No shame.
Unity! But anyway,
yes, this is a fantastic album in my opinion. It's just like their plug for their new album, Power Up, which is a tribute to Malcolm Young. This was the album tributing to their first lead singer. Bill, take it away. Bon Scott was their first lead singer, and he, this is a tribute to him, and Brian Johnson kicked ass on this record. He always said he never replaced Bon. He was there to fill in the spot that Bon left behind.
I know there's some songs, I forgot which ones they were, but I heard there's some songs that Brian Johnson won't even do because those were Bon Scott songs.
Yeah, like one of those songs I think is one of my favorite AC/DC songs. It's A Long Way to the Top If You Want to Rock and Roll. I think that's one of the ones that they said that it's a Bon Scott song.
Yeah. And I know this is generic, but you gotta love the intro, the doom, 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 bam, 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 bam.
Look at us go.
Doom.
And also, you know what I found out about this? This album is the best-selling rock album of all time.
Oh, it is?
Not the Beatles. Yeah, no joke. It's actually like one of the best selling rock albums of all time. It's not Beatles. It's not Rolling Stones. It's AC/DC's Back in Black. I found out. I found it was actually one of the best selling albums of all time by any band ever. So, who would have thought, right?
Yeah, and I think this was like the official. And I think what I like about it is AC/DC didn't change the tone of their
Yeah.
They changed the tone of their band for this album because Back in Black is a color, of course, mourning, color that people wear at funerals, and there was no sappy like, oh, we miss you, Bon Scott. We'll never forget you. It was.
They definitely paid tribute to him.
We're back and we're better than ever.
We're back in black.
We miss you, Bon, but it's time to go on.
Yes. That rhymed. You know that, right?
What was that?
That actually rhymed pretty good.
We miss you, Bon. It's time to go on.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Also, look at this track listing for 1 second. There's not a bad song on here.
And you know what really? And I love Back in Black and You Shook Me All Night Long.
Oh, you shook me up. I can't wait for once COVID passes and AC/DC tours, which because they're on their new album, they want to tour. I want to see them so bad. Me and Bill are going to go.
You shook me all night long.
We loved it.
And also Hell's Bells, because I know you're a fan, but have you been to a Giants game, JT, or?
Only one. That's kind of sad, but I'm a Giants fan, but I've never been to one. I went to a preseason game. I went to a preseason game at
MetLife.
Old Giant Stadium.
Oh, Old Giant Stadium. This was before MetLife.
My first time in MetLife Stadium was in 2016 when I saw Bruce Springsteen. So
yeah, well, because let me tell you, for Giant games before kickoff, they actually play Hell's Bells.
I did not know that. How about that?
Yeah, like right when they're getting kickoff,
that's pretty good.
I think that's like a perfect pre-kickoff song.
Also, look, they released Hell's Bells as a single on October 31st, 1980.
Perfect.
How perfect is that, right?
It's because it's got that slow, eerie, that
That's actually
game to get the crowd all pumped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so,
my number 9 is Back in Black.
That was mine, based on my list that I made it by completely unplanned. We made this by coincidence. What do you got, Bill?
Oh wait,
number 8.
Oh, number 8.
Number 8. Yeah, number 9 was the same.
Okay, Slippery When Wet by Bon Jovi.
I swear to God, I'm not
kidding. We share a brain, and that's scary.
We really might at this point. Slippery When, but this album, a lot of people realize that. Yes, Living on a Prayer came out of it. Yeah, if I may comment, Living on a Prayer came out of it. You Could Have Been Named Wanted Dead or Alive. Best known songs came out of it. But people forget there's a lot of other really good songs on this album.
Never Say Goodbye.
Never. Oh, I love that one. I love that one.
Let It Rock.
What's the track list? Let it rock. Let it rock.
I think we share the same brain.
We might actually.
And that's very scary.
Don't look, but this might actually be my number 8. Hold on. Okay, it's not, but go on.
But I just love it. I think this was the album that really put Bon Jovi on the map.
Yeah, this is great. And by the way, but just a kind of slap in the face to people today. Songs were written by 2 people on this album, 2 or 3 people. That's it. Not like 25 people and 20. Garbage.
Suck it, people.
Yes, John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora were the guys who wrote this album. Plus Desmond Child. He's great.
Absolutely.
Anyways, all right. So number 8 is Slippery When Wet. Okay. My number 8. Bill, don't look at my list. Hold on. Close your eyes.
Shield your eyes. Okay.
This might surprise a lot of people, but I'm actually going to put it in there. Our lists are not the same. Okay. So his number 8 is Slippery When Wet. My number 8 is actually this album right here by Kiss. Slippery When Wet by Kiss. Destroyer by Kiss is the 4th studio album by American hard rock band Kiss. Love this album so much. It's actually one of my first introductions to Kiss. Therefore, it was a very, very beautiful introduction to me, loving hard rock. And this is, a big introduction for me, bottom line. Okay. The story behind it is the story behind this album, the songs behind this album, fantastic. Bob Ezrin was the producer, and he co-wrote a lot of the songs in here. But everything from Detroit Rock City to King of the Nighttime World to God of Thunder to Great. Side 1 and 2 are just fantastic. There's 9 songs on this album. It's so amazing. Look, some of the biggest hits, Shout It Out Loud, Beth, their biggest hits came out of this album.
Shout it
Yeah.
out loud. Oh, that was Kiss?
Yeah. It was Kiss. Shout It Out Loud by Kiss. You got to have
I know.
So
Kiss
good.
is one of your favorite bands.
It is. Maybe not for you, but no, but reality though.
I don't hate Kiss. I just, like, they're not one of my favorite bands, but I'm not like wake up every morning and go, Gene Simmons can suck it. Even though I heard Gene Simmons is a bit of a dick.
I've heard the same thing, but that's okay.
But
so my number 8 is Kiss's Destroyer album in 1976, and I have it on vinyl too, and it's fantastic. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Bill, what's your number 7 album of all time? In no particular order, like I said.
No particular order. And trust me, okay, we all got to admit, this is a very hard list to make. But my next one is Night Visions by Imagine Dragons.
I'm not surprised, actually.
Because if you watched last week, Imagine Dragons is one of my favorite bands.
If you look at, hold on. If you look at this album, actually, you know what? This is actually a very good album. It's not one of my favorites, but I do like it. It's very unique. To be fair to Imagine Dragons, and I like them quite a bit. But go ahead, Bill. Tell me why.
Well, because like I said, Imagine Dragons will always have a special place in my heart because they were my first concert. And who doesn't like Radioactive? Can you scroll down a little bit, please?
Sure, I'm going.
I love the songs. I love Its Times. I love Demons. And that was really the big, On Top of the World is also my favorite song. If you listened last week from Imagine Dragons, like this was the song that really put them on the map.
Yeah.
Like I think
this is the album too that put them on the map too. Yeah.
And I love it. I absolutely love it.
Wow. Crazy.
I think that song is very underrated.
Which one?
Tiptoe.
I to be fair, I haven't heard of it, so
that's okay. When we're done.
Yeah, so when we're done with it. I like Imagine Dragons quite a bit. When I put them in the greats of greats, they're fairly new, so I wouldn't do that personally, but I do like them quite a bit. Anyways, let's go to my number 7. Bill, don't look.
I'm not looking.
All right, this may come as a surprise to some people, but I'm breaking the rules a little bit, and I'm putting because I listen when I made this list, I was so indecisive on these 2 albums by the same artist. So I'm going to put these 2 albums back to back as one. Okay, breaking the rules.
If it makes you feel better, don't worry. I got a tie too. So
okay, yeah, good. It's the same artist, different tie, right on.
Yeah.
So the first album I want to talk about is this album right here. The album that brought punk rock back to the mainstream audiences. Because when this album came out in 1994 by Green Day, one of the best live bands ever. I haven't seen them, but I've heard otherwise. It received critical acclaim for its unique direction, and it was a step. It brought punk rock back into the mainstream. Like, we would not talk about punk rock if it wasn't for this album. Straight up. Nirvana was the first kick at the door. Dookie knocked down the door and opened the floodgates for it. So anyways, I love all of the songs on this album. I actually have it on vinyl, believe it or not. I have this. They did a re-release on vinyl because it came out on a CD. But
for those of you who don't remember CDs, they're these little discs you used to put into this thing called a CD player, and it would play the songs. Remember those days?
Yeah. Oh my God, Matt, thank you for commenting saying I love Green Day. Glad you put an album on there. I know. Thank you, Matt. How could I not? Now, I did say these albums are back to back, and both, to me, it shows a young band and a mature band in the same band. Now, this album here is fantastic with Burnout and Welcome to Paradise, Basket Case, Welcome When I Can. Oh, fan-freaking-tastic album. I'm going to point out the other great album by this band, and I think Bill knows what I'm going at here, but here we go.
I actually
this
have
album
on my list too, so
no.
and tied with something else. So
yeah, oh my god, no, do what you gotta do. Matt, thank you so much for commenting your Green Day love in the chat board. So this album right here, I'm giving away my age. I'm 22 years old. I can remember a few of these songs, like two of these songs on the radio when it first came out. I was really young. Boulevard of Broken Dreams and Wake Me Up When September Ends. These two songs I remember very, very clear on the radio when they were first big hits, like the top 5 spots in the Hot 100. But this album, and also it's a punk rock opera where it deals with a lot of stuff regarding. It deals a lot of like Broadway elements are brought into it, as well as like hard rock. I believe actually Bad Out of Hell, which what Bill talked about, was an influence on this album, on its direction. It was a best, and honestly, it was a guitar heavy album, which doesn't really happen a lot nowadays. But it was fantastic album, and it won like a ton of Grammys and all this crap. It won like where's the Grammys? Album. It won Best Rock Album, and it won Record of the Year was Boulevard of Broken Dreams. So I'm spoiling a lot for Bill because I know he's going to talk about this in a second. But American Idiot is one of those albums. Yeah, American Idiot is one of those albums I'm going to get in my Green Day nerd territory. But it's honestly that tour. My aunt has a colleague who saw them on the American Idiot tour and all that stuff, and anyways, but overall, fantastic album, and I love it. So I'm gonna say for my number 7, there's 2 albums put together, Dookie and American Idiot. Bill, take it away. What's your number 7 album?
Okay, so
or 6, right?
Yeah, well, mine.
Are we on 6 or 7?
We're on 6 or 7. Again, this is in no particular order, right?
Yeah, of course.
My next one is Pet Sounds, Beach Boys.
I have it in there too. I'm just trying to think.
I'm stealing all your ideas today, aren't I?
You're killing me.
But I love whatchamacallit. I love we've said this last week. Brian Wilson is a genius.
Absolutely. And we've talked about it. If you're looking for those videos, I'll put them in the description again for you.
Remember, Brian Wilson's a genius. But no, this is an album that really just, like, Wouldn't It Be Nice is like one of my favorite songs. And this was really the first with the psychedelic, like they tried testing their psychedelics sound a little bit. Especially with, like I said, I like Wouldn't It Be Nice? God Only Knows, which is Paul McCartney's favorite song.
Of all time.
And I really do like Sloop John B.
Yeah.
Come on, Sloop John B. Which is actually like a folk song cover.
Yeah.
And it's
I love it too. I forget where I put it, but.
And like I said, Paul McCartney said this was his favorite album, and this is one of my favorite albums as well. So I will always love Pet Sounds.
It really is. It's a fantastic, it's great. So, so this is not one. It's up there. I'm gonna get to it in a little bit, but Bill, don't look. We're number 6, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6. All right. So my number 6 is actually going to be slightly different. I'm going to put this album is in there, but it's up higher. So I'm going to put this album is going to be one of my favorite timeless albums of all time. I love this album so much. If I can get to it. Literature. Okay, there we go. Okay. So this album, The Stranger, in 1977, it was released by Mr. Billy Joel, and it was released by Columbia Records, and I love this album so much. If you don't know this album, get to know it because it's a really strong album, timeless songs, everything from Moving Out to Just the Way You Are to one of the best mashed together songs of all time with Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, one of the classic deep cuts of all time with Vienna, Only the Good Die Young, She's Always a Woman. These are classic songs.
Only the Good Die Young is okay. You know what? Spoiler. Okay, I gotta do it. I'm gonna do it.
What?
That's actually next on my list.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Together, all right. You're not kidding.
Yeah, no, I love this album. I'm a big Billy Joel guy.
Yeah, love it.
Only the Good Die Young is actually my favorite Billy Joel song.
Oh, it's so great.
Vienna, I think, is very underrated.
Yes.
I think this is just Billy Joel's. This is Billy Joel's work that really just shines, and it's like what I said last week. What I love about Billy Joel is the simplicity of his music.
Oh yeah.
Like I love Elton John, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Elton John's got to have the big pyrotechnics, while Billy Joel is just him and the piano.
It's more intimate.
Yeah, and that's what I really love about this album. I actually got this sent from an album from a friend of mine.
Really?
Who doesn't like Billy Joel. He's from Long Island, and he doesn't like Billy Joel.
Stupid ass.
Boo!
Shame!
Shame! Actually, no, we can't do that. JT, remember, out of rules of decorum, we have to judge silently. Shame. Yeah, but I love it too. I love this album too.
Yeah, it's fantastic. All right. So this is my number 6. Was that what I said?
Yeah, and my number 5, I think.
You're number 5. So now I got to go to my number 5. Is that correct?
Yep, that's what we're doing.
Oh my God.
I threw everything off course.
Yes, you did. Don't look. Okay. Wait. This is number 5, right, for me? I'm horrible today. Keep not looking. All right. I got it. All right. Here we go. All right. In the number 5 spot, this might come as a surprise for some people. This might not come as a surprise for some people. But this album to me, and this is going to come as a total shock, but this album to me is one of my favorite albums of all time because it's so out of left field, but it's so great at the same time. It's the Rolling Stones' Voodoo Lounge. If you have not heard of this album, get off this live stream and get on iTunes and check it out. This album is fan-freaking-tastic. I love it. There's 15 songs in here, right? Love Is Strong, You Got Me Rockin', Sparks Will Fly, The Worst. This album, probably the worst song on the album might be like Baby Break It Through, but that's really not saying much because the rest of the album is fantastic. And the best part of all, this album was in 1994. So the same year as Dookie, Voodoo Lounge, the Rolling Stones released Voodoo Lounge.
That was the year I was born, by the way, 94.
No way. Wait, what's your birthday again?
March 17th.
So you were a couple months old when this came out. This was July 11th.
Yep.
How funny is that?
I'm older than the album, folks. I'm older than the album.
And
I'm also older than Google, so.
Oh my God. No, but I love this album. It was just fantastic. It's so good. It's a very underappreciated Rolling Stones album, in my opinion. I'm gonna put this up there because honestly, this is one of the only albums that I got into that I love all the songs on the album. Aside from like Baby Break It Through is like okay, but the rest of them are pretty cool. Like Moon Is Up, or Out of Tears. These are some dramatic songs for the Stones to make. And I love them. So personally, but that's my number 5.
Okay, for my one, I actually have a tie.
For your number 5, correct?
4, remember, because
You did The Stranger as number 5, right?
yeah. So my number 4, again, no particular order. This is a tie between an album you've already talked about, American Idiot.
Okay.
Which, this was during, I think, very popular during the political climate then, and I think even during the climate now. But I think the songs are great. It's like when I was older, when I was younger, I didn't understand it, but now I have a deeper appreciation for it.
Yeah.
I now have a deeper appreciation for this album. And also it was turned into a musical that was supposed to be the whatchamacallit, the musical at my alma mater where I went to school. Mm-hmm. This year it was going to be, and I was thinking about going, and Matt was going to be my date. And Matt, you could have bought the tickets and I would have bought dinner. We would have went wherever you wanted. I would have bought dinner. Anyway, that was going to be the plan. But unfortunately, it got canceled due to, obvious reasons.
COVID.
Thanks, COVID. Yeah, but I would have loved to see that. That would have been fantastic. And my other one, okay, I'm a 90s kid, so I kind of had to put this on here. Enema of the State from Blink-182.
Really?
I have a bit of nostalgia for it.
Oh my God, you're killing me here. That's great stuff.
That is, All the Small Things is one of my favorite songs.
Oh yeah.
Other songs that, was I Miss You on that album, or am I thinking of something?
No, that's the next one. That was the self-titled one.
Okay, I messed that up.
That was 2003. Hold on, let me check. Go, keep talking. Let me just.
What's my age again? It makes you think nobody likes you when you're 23. But also, I just think because I heard all those songs and also Adam's song, which I'll be honest, I can't really listen to.
Oh, really?
I find that song very upsetting. But
Adam's song?
Yeah, that song is actually. Did you know what that song is even about?
What is it about?
Okay, sorry to bring everybody's mood down before Thanksgiving.
God damn it!
It was a suicide note.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
It was based on a fan. It was actually based on two things. One, it was based on a suicide note of a fan who was a big fan of that, and it was about him, and also it was about one of the leads. It was also about one of the bandmates who talking about his depression and loneliness. And, there was a big controversy around that song, too, because a lot of people thought it was encouraging people to do that. I
didn't know that. That's so interesting. And actually, Matt in the chat board is saying that Mutt is one of his favorite Blink-182 songs.
I've never really heard that song in a while. But
anyway, I've heard of it, but that's me.
But, yeah, but the guy who wrote it, he was saying, like, no, this song wasn't to encourage that. It was about getting help. Like, there was like so much controversy. They actually had to retire that song for a while.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they actually didn't even play it for a while. And also,
I didn't know that. That's so
other issues. You see, folks, you're learning shit today. Learning stuff is fun. Not that I should be making light of a serious topic, but yeah, but I think Enema of the State is a very landmark album. And, Blink-182, I'm always going to have, because at heart, I'm a 90s kid, so I'm always going to have a special place in my heart for them.
Also, this album came out in 1999, too.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. Huh. Cool. This was your number 4, you said?
Yeah, it's 4. It's tied with American Idiot.
All right. I got to think now. Hold on. Don't look again. I'm trying to check.
Maybe you should have wrote this down on a pad with pen, the old-fashioned way.
Maybe I should have. All right. Here we go. I got 2 for my number 4. I got 2 albums by one band that made a difference in my life. This album, first of all, let me point out, U2 is one of my favorite bands of all time. And if you don't like that, get on it.
What? Since you do 2 ties, I might, because there's another album I want to throw on there, so I might do that too.
Go ahead. We're just BSing half of it.
You know what? There's no rules here. There's no rules.
There's no rules. All right.
It's 2020. We've thrown all social convention out the window.
We really have. It's kind of pathetic. So anyways, all right, first things first.
Next time, we're going to be doing a show butt-ass naked. No, actually, we're not. We're not going to do that.
No, we're not going to do that. Stop it.
You want to do it, JT? We can do it.
No, I'm not getting naked on camera. What the hell are you talking about?
I'm kidding, right?
I know you're kidding.
An actually fun story. Back when I was at radio station in college, I wasn't a part of this, but a bunch of people actually did a radio show topless. They did a show with no shirts on. I shit you not.
That's really great. All right. Anyways, my 4th choice is literally between 2 albums by the same band. I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry. It's by U2. It's the Joshua Tree. I actually have it on vinyl. And I love this album so much. Just Where the Trees Have No Name is in my top 10 favorite songs of all time. And I'll get to the other song in a second. If I can get to it. All right, track listing. Where the Trees Have No Name. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But with or Without You is such a classical song. Bullet the Blue Sky. Running to Stand Still, which is a deep, dark story about heroin and some parents. It's deep stuff, man. This album got deep for a lot of people. Red Hill Mining Town, In God's Country, Trip Through Your Wires. And this album overall, though, I love it to death. I got to see them on the Joshua Tree album tour that they did a year or 2 ago and throughout the U.S. for the 30th anniversary of this album. And I saw it, and I saw all these songs live. I heard them all live, and it was fantastic. But what I'm really hoping for, personally, is a 30th anniversary. It may happen next year. We're not sure, depending on COVID, but we'll see. A 30th anniversary tour of this album. This is the other tied album because these 2 albums are so tied and tied to me. It's ridiculous.
Oh, one of my favorite songs is on that album.
Is it one?
It is one.
We really think alike. It's a little pathetic.
It's very scary.
It's kind of scary. All right. So, anyways, this album I'm just going to go into really quick. This is they literally after the Joshua Tree tour and Rattle and Hum, they're like, okay, well, we don't know. We want to change our style up a little bit, so they did. And they made this album, which was brand new. It was one of the most successful records and such a unique, full sounding record. It's insane. Octung Baby had some of their best. It was one of the. I think it's close enough to rival the Joshua Tree. It's that good. If I can get to the. Okay, so the original track listing. And by the way, it did receive critical acclaim, which means that the album was so brilliantly received. It was one of the best-selling albums of 1991 or 2, actually. But anyways, the track listing right here: Zoo Station, Even Better Than the Real Thing, 1, Until the End of the World. I listen to these songs on a daily basis. Sometimes they're so iconic for me. They're so great. So yeah, that's my number. That's my number 4, we're number 4, right? I lost track. All right. My number 4 for me is by U2. It's the Joshua Tree and Octung Baby. I still cannot decide to this day which I like more. Some days I like Joshua Tree more. Some days I like Octung Baby more. Whatever. I'm still trying to figure out which one's better and which one's not. But honestly, they're both really, really special in my heart. Anyways, Bill, what's your number 3?
Okay, my number 3. Since you have 2 ties, okay, this one, because I just didn't know where to put this on my list.
What do you got?
Actually, I'm going to the one I originally had scheduled on this list, and that is, of course, Abbey Road by the Beatles.
Okay.
That was a hard decision to make. To me, it's a toss-up between that and Sgt. Pepper.
Oh,
but,
okay.
But I chose Abbey Road. because I really like the direction the band was going then. And I really like how George Harrison was breaking out as a songwriter more. Of course, with Here Comes the Sun, which is a great song. And probably one of my favorite Beatles songs, Something.
Oh, it's one of my top 20 of all time.
Don't want to leave her now. Actually, an awesome version of that song. If you have watched, what is it? They had a tribute concert for George Harrison in 2002 on the 1 year anniversary of his death.
Yes, I remember this.
There's a great version of that song by Paul McCartney and Eric Clapton.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I just really like with the Beatles. With this time, their sound was getting a little more grittier.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Like I Want You, She's So Heavy, I think is very underrated.
Oh, it actually is, yeah.
I want you. Doom, doom, doom. But yeah, also probably one of my top 5 favorite Beatles songs, Come Together.
Oh, I love it. That's one of my top 20 songs of all time.
God, you have a big ass list, my friend. But anyway, yeah, I love this album. I actually have friends who've been to London and walked past that thing in Abbey Road.
On the crosswalk? Oh, man. That must be
I'm jealous of them.
Jealousy. We hate you. Love
and
you.
Also my other one, because I just didn't know where to put this one. Rumors by Fleetwood Mac.
So are you tying this as your number?
You know what? We're tying this. Since you did 2 ties, I'm doing 2 ties.
But I did the same artist, though.
What'd you say? But no, I just didn't know where to put it. So,
Rumors by Fleetwood
Mac. Dude, it's 2020. No, like I said, social conventions no longer exist. It's 2020. But anyway, if you watched our show last week, you know Fleetwood Mac is one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I love Go Your Own Way.
Oh yeah.
The Chain I really like.
Listen to the wind blow.
Oh, never break the. And probably my favorite Fleetwood Mac song, Don't Stop.
Oh, don't stop
thinking about tomorrow.
That's great.
I really love that song, and I think it's something we could all listen to right now during these trying times. Yeah, but Fleetwood Mac, love Stevie Nicks, one of my favorite albums from one of my favorite bands. You see how hard this list is to make, though?
You know, we're talking about like the best of the best.
Yeah, okay. You're number 3.
All right, my number 3 is not going to be 2 albums because we already started doing that. But I'm going to
No, I have single albums for the next 2, so don't worry.
I have single albums as well. I got single albums for the next 2. This is a fantastic album. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. A lot of people think it's a little weird. A lot of people think it's this or that.
It's a little strange. I'll admit it's a bit of a strange album.
It is. I mean, it's the psychedelic stuff really comes out, but it's art at the same time, and I love it. It was widely considered to be one of the greatest albums of all time.
It is.
So
I agree.
It is. It really is. I know someone who actually has an original pressing of it in the plastic sleeve on vinyl.
Really?
Yeah, I know someone who has it. I'm like, can I see it? They're like, no. I'm like, okay. So, it was fantastic. I would love to visit that studio right there. Would have like this album to me though, truly a break from the past and a way of looking into the future. And the Beatles were really trying their best to think of something new. Literally, the world was watching. And there's videos online you can look up stuff like that of the Beatles of rock critics today, like talking about this album when the 50th anniversary came out in 2017. People talking about it. It's insane. So yeah, I both overall though I do love this album, and honestly, it's.
What? If I can chime in for a second here,
yes, go ahead.
But with Sgt. Pepper, because I think that was really the big start in the change of the Beatles sound.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because you had from they're beginning up to Revolver, which was basically the 4-part harmonies, the I wanna hold your hand or all my loving. And this was like a really stark change of them getting more into the psychedelic and, or like I said with Abbey Road, getting more into like the grittier sound.
Yeah, they really started to experiment, and this was the album that
started it.
That really started it. Some people say it's perfect. Some people say there are issues with it. But then again, the world was waiting. There wasn't a Beatles album for about a year before this. So,
well, there were 2 Beatles albums released in 1967, though. There was this, and there was Magical Mystery Tour.
Was the Magical Mystery Tour? Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I actually like that album too, quite a bit. But
by the way, when we talk about Abbey Road, Here Comes the Sun and Something are both gems from Abbey Road. Yes, Matt, we agree.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into it because I'm just going to say it, but I do like this album here, Magical Mystery Tour. It was pretty good. It's very weird, but I like the title track.
The Beatles were getting into their experimental phase.
He was the walrus.
And don't forget, this was also after they went to India, so that's you could hear some of the.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. What's your number 2?
Okay, my number 2, JT. Before we get to that, I have to say something.
Yes.
We don't need no education.
Oh.
We don't need no thought control.
All in all.
No dark sarcasm in the bathroom. Teacher, leave those kids alone. Hey, teacher, leave us kids alone. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. Yep, the wall.
Oof.
I feel like it's a sin not to put it on this list, but
I will admit, you know me, I don't like Pink Floyd at all.
You hate Pink Floyd.
But I will say this is their best album.
No, I agree. But like we reviewed this album too.
We did a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, I think we did it. But this album is, this is like one of the big compilation albums. It tells the story of Pink, a young man who's been raised by his overprotective mother. His father died in the war. And the album is just about him combating loneliness and isolationism. And the happiest of topics, fascism. Isn't that something that just perks you up?
Oh my God.
But I just love the different whatchamacallit. It's just how it tells the story, like, and you know what, and how this is going back and forth from when you did Sgt. Pepper's. I feel like if it wasn't for, here's how I feel. If it wasn't for Sgt. Pepper, there would have been no Wall.
Yeah.
Talk about compilation albums. If there wasn't no Wall, I don't think there would have been no American Idiot or,
No, of course.
Here's what I'll say. I think Sgt. Pepper started the concept of compilation albums, but I think the Wall perfected it.
I tend to agree.
Like, my only thing is Roger Waters is a bit of an asshole. We all know that. But the thing is, no, like, this was around the time when Roger Waters was starting to break free from Pink Floyd. Like, if you listen to, like, the vocals, most of the vocals are done by Roger Waters.
Mm-hmm. Do you have this album on vinyl?
I don't.
I do.
And you don't even like Pink Floyd.
No, I it was given to me. I just kept it because it was like, it's the Wall. It's iconic.
Yeah, it's a really good album.
So, no, that's cool though. Apparently, a Beach Boy was on it. Bruce Johnson was on it. Apparently, that's just funny.
Oh, he was. That's interesting.
Look at that.
And then there's also the trippy ass movie that we should review one day.
We should just do a movie commentary of that.
Do not watch this movie on any mind-altering substances, though.
Yeah.
It'll freak you the hell out.
All right. So this is your number 2, right?
This is my number 2.
Oh, man. Wow. I can't believe it's really coming down to this. My number 2, because I didn't give my number 2. You gave your number 2.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I have 2 left. And one of them, I know what my number 1 is. But I'm trying to think, what was my number 2? Oh, man.
Okay, folks, don't look.
Don't look. Don't look. Don't look, Bill. Don't look.
I'm not looking. That's why I have my hood over my eyes, so I can't. That's why I have my hood over my eyes,
Oh, my God.
so I don't see them.
All right. When I give away number 2, number 1's going to be a dead obvious. So hold on. You ready, Bill?
I'm ready when you are.
This album is my number 2, which will give away number 1 completely, if you know who I am. This album is completely underappreciated, underrated, under everything by any stretch of imagination. If you enjoy rock and roll music, if you enjoy hard-hitting rock, but not like metal, but if you enjoy hard rock, and you enjoy like powerful lyrics, this is the album that is for you. In fact, in 2020, it was ranked by at number 91 of Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. It got moved up from like 200 to 91. This album is Bruce Springsteen's 4th album. This is the album called Darkness on the Edge of Town. Now, there's a lot of songs on this album. Not many of the songs are mainstream hits, but the people who bought the album know the songs. And people said it was a critical acclaim, all this stuff. But honestly, it's about life. Without going into too much detail, Badlands is about trying to make it in America. Something in the Night is about something in the night, pun intended. Racing in the Street is a slow piano ballad about car racing over the summer. The Promised Land is about finding a better life in America. Factory, life in a factory, and we're going to work everyday life for the people who aren't songwriters and singers. He's writing for the working man. That is what this album is about, and it's fantastic.
Because it has like kind of that blue collared, sound.
Not quite. I mean, to an extent, yes. To an extent, no. I mean, the songs themselves took shape, but at the same time, like the songs are very adult for him, and he was trying a new writing style, and it came out the way it did. And this is what I have to say: if you have seen Bruce Springsteen live and you're out there watching this at all, you know what I'm talking about. These songs sound great on a vinyl, but if you play them live, they sound amazingly live. They just sound better live, and to this day, Bruce doesn't know why. He made them in the studio. They sound a certain way, and now they came out fantastic live. That's what made his shows such strong club acts in the 70s. This was the album that did it, and I cannot emphasize enough. This album is fantastic on so many levels, and it didn't really chart that well, to be honest with you. And in the Billboard 200, didn't really chart that well. The singles didn't really chart that well, but it was a big important record for them to move them on to the next album, which was The Reference, which is not in my top 10 for this case, but it launched their live act selves, if you will. It was a brilliant album. If you haven't checked it out, I recommend it. Bill, what's your number 2?
I did my number 2. So, before we get to number 1, I'd like to give a few honorable mentions.
Yeah, give a couple. Go ahead.
I only really have 2 in mind. One is Eric Clapton's Unplugged album. That was the song.
Oh, that's a great album.
That was the song that really introduced me to the song Layla.
Oh, yeah. No, that one.
And you know what? I kind of like the acoustic version better than the original version.
That's okay. A lot of people do. I don't, but I definitely see where you're coming from.
Layla, because that was the one that introduced it to me.
Yeah.
Got me on my knees, Layla. See if you could spot this one. Yeah, so I really love that song. And my other one, okay, I'm gonna get so much hate for this one from JT, but my other honorable mention, because I have a little bit of a soft spot for this one, because again, I'm a 90s kid. No Strings Attached, In Sync. Not my favorite, but it's a guilty pleasure. You know what I mean?
Really?
It's a guilty pleasure album. Because I just...
What was it called? NSYNC what?
It's called No Strings Attached.
Okay.
But no, because Bye 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 is like one of my big guilty pleasure songs. And like I said, growing up in the 90s, I'm always going to have a soft spot for this one. And I remember that song was everywhere, but it brings me back some memories. Okay, now my number one. Like I said, I kind of had to drive this all together at the last minute. But my number one album, for now, this could change. Escape, Journey.
Really?
You didn't know where I was going, did you?
You caught me by surprise.
Nah, like, okay. Love this album. It is a really big 80s staple.
Oh, yeah.
Stone in Love, I think, is really good. Really underappreciated in my opinion. Open Arms, who doesn't like that? Also, Escape, and also, okay, Who's Crying Now? And also, what's that song? That song, it's the opening track. It's something about believing. You know that song?
I think I've heard of it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good.
Like, Don't Stop Believing or something like that.
Only one of the greatest songs of all time.
Agreed. I love that song. Like, that is like one of those songs, if you hear that is like everybody knows. Like when we were talking about Back in Black earlier, when everybody hears down, like everybody knows what song it is. With Journey, when you hear the
opening piano,
like you know what that is.
You really do. In fact, me and the forehead Kyle, hopefully he'll chime in one day. We did a Journey Rock Talk episode on Don't Stop on the Escape album.
Yeah, I watched that.
It was great.
Yeah, and I remember you were talking something about a school trip with that song playing, or am I thinking about something completely different?
Probably something completely different.
Okay, now time for something completely different. Yeah, but Journey, one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite albums with one of my favorite songs.
It is truly one of the best. But however, your number one, and I really love your number one quite a bit. It's fantastic. I love that album too. My number one.
It's Born to Run, isn't it?
Oh, God, you ruined the dramatic buildup. What the hell's wrong with you?
JT, in the couple weeks we've been doing this show, I'm starting to know you like I know the back of my hand.
Same here, my guy. This album is my favorite album. One of my, like I said, we do this in no particular order, but I always come back to this one album. This album is start to finish. It's a masterpiece. Everything from the album cover to the stories behind it to the everything about this album is fantastic. From Thunder Road to 10th Avenue Freeze Out to
Clarence, we miss you.
Yes, God bless. We made that change uptown, and the big man joined the band. Night is a fantastic powerhouse track. Backstreet's one of the saddest songs I think I've ever heard, but it's so powerful and so amazing. Born to Run, my favorite song of all time, and it was fantastic. She's the One, a powerhouse anthem, E Street Band song. Meeting Crest River and Jungle Land back to back. Jungle Land is one of the best tracks ever, in my opinion, that has ever been put on a record. There's nothing like it at all. There's nothing like this song at all, or this song, or this. There's nothing like this album ever. I've never heard anything. I've listened to music my whole life, and I've listened to countless varieties, everything from country to blues to jazz to contemporary pop albums to acoustic albums. I've heard nothing like this album in my life. And I can honestly tell you that this is without a doubt one of my favorite albums of all time. I love it near and dear to my heart. It's one of the strongest albums that has stood the test of time and has become one of the best albums of all time. I love this album so much, and if I were to rate it, I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
Wow, that perfect, huh?
It's that level. To me, it's that level of perfect because I've heard nothing else like it in my life. Because when you hear enough music, you're like, wow. The things that you go back to, you're like, wow, that really stood out to me. It could be anything, but like, that really stood out to me. That really stood out to me. This album
Stood out to you.
Stood out to me no matter what. But anyways, that is my number one. So Bill's number one is Journey's Escape. My number one is Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen. But ultimately, everyone, what do you have to say about this? What are some of your favorite albums of all time? I want to thank Bill so much for joining us today on our
Rob, always a pleasure, my friend.
Always a pleasure. Can't wait to do this next Wednesday night as well, or next Wednesday as well. I cannot wait to I'll let you know what the topics are for this once they come out. And Bill, thank you so much. I know we did this kind of early today and forced for certain reasons, but thank you so much, my friend. You are the man. No problem. I know you love Pink Floyd, but I can't believe you put it that high, but that's okay.
Hey, everyone's entitled to their opinions, as my uncle, God rest his soul, would say. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them, and they all stink.
Exactly. That's actually a very good way of putting it. But anyways, what do you guys have to say about this? Please jump down in the comment section below. We love to hear your thoughts. But for your mixed bag episodes every week on Wednesdays, keep it locked on the Super Review Show. Bill, I'm not Bill.
I'm Bill. He's JT.
Bill signing off. The J-Man is signing off. We'll see you guys next time. All right. Have a great and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe.
Yes, stay safe. Stay warm. Stay dry. Do whatever you got to do. Have a great holiday, everyone.